Skanos! Bon appetit, my friends. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're here in Klaipėda, Lithuania, and we're going to talk about what you are going to eat when you come to Lithuania. Because the thing is you might not understand this, but Lithuania has some of the most interesting looking foods, but tastiest foods as well, okay? So, let's get started. Now, when you go to a restaurant, the restaurant times here are pretty straightforward. Lunchtime, from 11 to 1, and dinner times from 5 till about 10. Some restaurants will stay open until midnight and stuff like that. You can eat anytime. Restaurants are open, the kitchens are open all day, so there's no problem with that. So you'll be okay there. Service sometimes can be a bit slow, but it's fine, and you do tip 10%. But let's get to the meat and potatoes of this video. Yes, I'm a pun king today. Anyway, we'll start off with kind of like the big two that people need to have when they come here, and there's a lot of them, but one thing you want to have when you come is zeppeline. It means zeppelin. And what it is it can come like from this size to about this size. And what it is, it's grated potato smashed together into like another potato, and inside of it is a meatball, okay? And it may look kind of crazy when you first see it because they also pour grietine, sour cream on top, and spirguce, which is bacon fat with bacon bits. It's so good. You can see why when I lived here for 3.5 years, I didn't lose much weight, okay? But the zeppeline is like the quintessential must-have when you come here. But I will warn you, don't order anything else when you get it because it is so filling, but it is really good. So zeppeline is one. If you come here in the summer, you want to get shalti bashe, or cold borscht. It's a pink soup made with beetroots. There's some onion and other stuff in there. They put some potatoes. They'll give it to you. Put those in there. It's fantastic. But I will warn you, it scares off some tourists. I lived here for 3.5 years. It almost took me a year to get the courage to actually try it. And once I did, I loved it. I mean, it's one of the things I make people try when they come here. So those are the big two. But there are other foods we need to talk about, and I'll kind of go in order. If you're looking at starters, okay, if you're going to go grab some beers with buddies or you want to have a little snack before you eat, my personal favorite is Kepta Duona susuri mesa, which is fried brown bread. Okay, fried brown bread cut into like little French fry looking things with garlic on them, and then they melt cheese and mayonnaise together and pour it on top, or it might be on the side as a dipping sauce, but I like the ones poured on top. It's fantastic. And the thing is, both guys and girls, they both eat this. So you don't have to worry about, oh, am I going to smell bad from my cutie? No, your cutie, well, there's a lot of cuties here in Lithuania. They're going to have the garlic bread too, so it's okay. Another one you might want to have, I think it's žirniai su spirguce, which is basically like chickpeas and bacon. Again, the bacon comes up a lot here. The spirguce comes up a lot here. Stirred together, you have that. That's a nice starter. You can get pig's ears. They're a little bit bigger than mine, but just as piggy-like. You can have that. Yes, you can get pig's ears here. There's different ways you can have it. You can get it where it's like cooked in a pan with like almost like in a pancakey kind of thing, or you literally just get slices of pig ears. I know when I'm drinking at my buddy's place, his wife and I, and we'll get together and they'll just, here's a bunch of pig's ear, it's just sliced up for you. Now it's super chewy and the cartilage inside's a little weird at first, but after a while, you really understand, like, that really works with a good beer. Now, smoked cheese is an acquired taste. If you haven't had it before, Finland is a fantastic place to try smoked cheese, and you actually get it at the store. This is more of a thing that you might not see in restaurants or bars to get with your beer, but if you're, like, going to be sitting out with some friends and having some beer, they're probably going to grab some smoked cheese for you and have that. That's really good. But probably the most popular starter if you're going to have a meal here in Lithuania is a soup, or struba. And there's a lot of different soups. I talked about the cold beet soup in the summer. There's also the cold herring soup you can have, which is good. But they have all kinds of chicken soup, beef broth, all kinds of hodgepodge. There's all kinds of really good soups that are here, and I do recommend you have some. And you'll see the Lithuanians really do love their soup, and they'll start their meals off with it as well. But I mean, it's cheap too, so you can have a good cheap soup that warms you up, especially if you're in wintertime, because it gets cold, and the soups are fantastic, okay? Now, if you're gonna look at some like the main meals when you are here, like I said, there's a zeppeline, some other good ones here, kotletas, which is a cutlet of pork, beaten up, and they cover it and fry it. That's really good here. You can get steak here very nicely. Also pork chops or pork steaks, so maybe call it a neck steak, but with like a mushroom sauce. And the Lithuanians do a fantastic job with their sauces, especially when it comes to mushrooms. So anything with padažu, with sauce, You're gonna be okay. Labas kanu. Labas. See, she even knows. She knows there's great food here. And there's all kinds of other little things. One thing I like, little raviolis called koldune, and it might be with meat or cheese inside, and they'll pour the sour cream over top. You'll notice there's a lot of sour cream and cream on the dishes here. It's kind of like a staple of Lithuanian food. I mean, I can't imagine how much cream I ate here in 3.5 years, but it was a lot. Okay, so there's koldune. There's also, you might want to have cabbage rolls or balandele. I know I'm probably butchering the words, but balandele, which is it's like a meatball wrapped in cabbage and a tomato sauce. That's very nice. Another thing you could have is the potato pancakes are good, and sometimes they might put like a bacon or some meat inside the potato pancake. That's also good. Also, if you like the zeppeline, there's also a way like the next day version where they cut it in half and fry it. That's also a nice one. But probably what I like, another pseudo version of a zeppeline, but it's called a gemetribeline or a gemetia pancake. That's the region that Klaipėda is in. And basically it's like mashed potatoes, imagine like a hash brown with meat inside. That would be the best way I can explain it. And like with ground beef inside, oh man, it is so good when you have that. Of course, there might be some gratine or sour cream with it too, which makes everything fantastic. So you have that as well. Now, if you're lucky enough to go to somebody's house, like summer house or something like that, you do a barbecue here, you're gonna have shashlik, which is a shish kebab. You have the cubed pork or chicken on the skewer, and they grill that out. There's restaurants that make it here. It is fantastic. And if you want kind of like a just meat and some rice kind of stuff, that's one of my favorite things here. And that's popular through a lot of the countries here in the East. And that's really good. Also, what you can have is there's a lot of really good fish here. You have a lot of pike, perch, fish that you'll have. That's always nice. And the thing is, the portion sizes in Lithuania, man, I mean, I lived here for 3.5 years, and man, that weight did not go away because the food is good and you get big portions. So if you're coming with kids, like we're here with our boys, we're buying one dish and splitting it between the two, and they're still barely finishing it. I said they really like it. Like Liam loves the soup here. My buddy got a big bowl. Liam ate the whole thing and then ate his whole steak. So you will eat really well. Another thing I would say with the food in general, here in Lithuania, they do not like preservatives and all those kind of things. So the food is very natural. And I mean, they'll promote that. And if you're drinking like soda and other stuff, they're like, what are you doing? Why are you putting that in your body? That's not natural. They love nature here. And that goes in with their food. So you have a lot of natural products. So you'll always have a salad that goes with your meat or in your dish. Okay, there'll be potatoes with there too, made here in Lithuania and all kinds of stuff. And it is very like healthy eating. I mean, it's very heavy. Because also you can have like pork knuckle karka, you can have that, and there's lots of steaks and pork and stuff. But just know that the food here is extremely natural, and you will, I mean, it's weird, you eat a lot, but you don't feel bad about it because it is good. The sausages are also good here, so that's another thing you can do. If you want to grab a little snack, there's little rolls you can get around here that are stuffed with ham and cheese, or maybe they're with cinnamon or some kind of fruit or something like that. Those are very good. So you have some options out there. Also, if you're looking to have salads, since there is that natural goodness about the food here, the salads here are also very filling and very good, so you'll be okay with that. Now, let's talk about desserts. Now, I talked about gratine, that the sour cream is very popular here. They also have this stuff called borscht, which is kind of like cream cheese and cottage cheese have a baby, like kind of things, and you'll have a lot of desserts that have that. So it might be like a cheesecake or something else, or borscht covered in chocolate, you know, at the store and stuff like that. So you will have that. The pies here are very nice as well, so I do recommend that, or cakes. And the thing is the prices here in Lithuania to go out to eat are very, very reasonable. Now, we're here on the main river here, so obviously these places are going to be a little bit more expensive, but a little bit more expensive is still super cheap compared to, Finland or Germany or the US. So you can eat really well at a really affordable price here, so that's really nice. So don't let any go, I don't know if I want to spend that money. You'll be okay, and you'll have really great food. And the thing is, here in Lithuania, the food, they're very proud of Lithuania, and they're very proud of their food, and it shows off in the presentation. Because even if you go to a little corner restaurant that some grandma runs, the presentation will be beautiful. And that's just it. I'm like, well, I'm paying $3 for this, or €3 for this, and it looks like I'm paying for a $50 meal. You'll have that a lot of times here, so do enjoy that. And another thing I look at is in terms of things you might want to eat when you are here. They actually have a lot of beline, or rolled up pancakes. They might have chicken inside, or chicken and cheese, or chicken and mushroom, or it'll have borscht, or it'll have fruits and stuff inside of it. That was my kind of like go-to light meal. I would just have a pancake rolled up with chicken and mushrooms. It was really good. My kids, if they haven't been too hungry, or to try to get them to start thinking about Lithuanian food, we started with the pancakes kind of stuff, and they really did enjoy it. It's more like a crepe rolled up versus like an American pancake. So that was always a good standby, easy to do thing. Also, you might want to know is, what are you going to drink when you're here? Well, I'm not going to lie to you. In Lithuania, you drink beer, period. Okay, alus. There's lots and lots of different brewers around here. Yes, you have Švyturys, which is a national brand, but there's also smaller brands and microbrews around the country. So do ask around, because you can buy Vilnius beer is good, Švyturys is good. You know, you have all these different things. So do experiment and try different beers, and you'll see that it'll be Švyturys, then there'll be extra, which is like a lager kind of beer, and then there are Porterys, which is porter, and then there's the Baltijos, which is the Tamsus, the dark beer. There's lots of different kinds of beers. So do try and experiment with those. The liquor of choice is degtinė, or vodka, obviously. And sometimes if you meet locals and they take you back to their house, you might get homemade moonshine, homemade degtinė. Do be careful with that, because it is very, very, very strong. And if someone looks you in the eyes and says, with a shot, and they say "Isfekata" and drink it, that means you're up next. You're gonna have a good time, let's say. But make sure you always look at people's eyes when you do cheers, okay? Another thing is Lithuanians drink, they love arbatos, they love tea. Tea is a very common thing. I used to go meet people during the day, let's go have a tea. You go and you'd have tea with people all the time. It's a very popular drink. You don't see a ton of the coffee shops around, because all the cafes sell coffee and sell tea, so you don't have the Costa coffees, the Starbucks and stuff like that. You don't have so much of that. And if you're looking for quick food, they have the typical McDonald's, they have Hesburger, there's kebabs, stuff like that you can grab. But a lot of times it's grabbing a hot dog, or, from a gas station actually, or you're getting a little, how do I describe it? It's like a fried pouch of dough with meat inside, so you do have that as well. Anyway, I hope this helped you know a little bit more about what you should have when you do come to Lithuania. And there's a ton more things out here. Cottage cheese, pancakes. There's so many good things. Having the ice cream when you're here, you can have the old school, from the good old days, let's say, ice cream cones that come in a package. You don't have your Magnum, you have your little cone with ice cream stuck inside. And it's one of those things you should try when you are here. And it's very affordable. Anyway, I hope that helped you know a little bit more about the tasty food you will have here in Lithuania. And believe me, you will have a lot of tasty food. Anyway, skanos, which means bon appetit, or have a nice meal, from here in Lithuania. If you want to learn more about visiting Lithuania, the don'ts of visiting Lithuania, 5 things you love and hate about visiting Lithuania, the shocks of Lithuania, I think you get the point. Check us out on our website at woltersworld.com. We're also on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and we really appreciate your likes, subscriptions. We hope you have a good time eating your way through Lithuania, because I know you will. And my wife, Jocelyn, she came here and she's like, I wasn't expecting much, but I really love the food. And the boys, I know it's hard for them to finish those plates because there's so much food, but they do pretty much finish them and then get dessert and maybe start with a soup as well. So I'll say bye from Lithuania, or viso gero.